And good afternoon. Welcome to WSA9 News at noon. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Makia Turner. Larry Miller has the day off. And we begin, of course, with that breaking news. The redacted Mueller report has been released. Right now, we are joined by a team of reporters and anchors pouring through the report this afternoon. We have our Mike Valerio and, of course, anchor Bruce Johnson, who's going to provide a little bit more context on this. So, Mike, let's start with you. We just got the report. What's in it?
Well, it's a compelling read, first of all, Makia, and there is so much material that Democrats are texting me left and right saying if this does not add more fuel to the fire calling for impeachment, they don't know what will. But as Bruce and I were talking about earlier, watch Nancy Pelosi to see what she says. But it's a huge report and just three sections that jumped out at us immediately when we're talking about obstruction and Bill Barr's conclusion that there was no obstruction from his point of view. You see in black and white from the special counsel's team right here, quote, Trump engaged in non-public efforts to control the Mueller probe and efforts in both private and public to encourage witnesses not to cooperate with the investigation. They look at 10 areas of potential obstruction elements. And one of the most fascinating elements that they look at is the firing of former FBI Director James Comey. And so many people from Trump's team have argued he can fire Comey. It's part of his presidential powers to be able to do so. The special counsel's office pointedly disagrees with that, Makia, writing right here, Congress can validly regulate the president's exercise of official duties to prohibit actions motivated by a corrupt intent to obstruct justice. They write that when they're talking about Trump firing Comey and saying essentially that Congress can have a say if that was out of line and potentially impeach the president on those lines. So again, impeachment is a tall order since 20 Republicans have to come over to the other side. But bottom line here for everybody watching at home, there is so much material in this report, very lightly redacted, that does not look favorably for the president.
Definitely 400 pages to comb through.
Yeah.
Just before the report's release, we did hear from Attorney General Barr. He held a press conference where he reaffirmed his office's position that no evidence of collusion was found, as you just stated here. So, Bruce, did we learn anything from that news conference?
Democrats are confident. Republicans say they're even more confident. They say, Democrats, if you swing, you'd better get a hit. You better not miss. They think they wanted to control the narrative as the day started, and they think they got to win today. President Trump, no doubt, applauding his attorney general's performance this morning. Democrats already calling it an unprecedented political speech, of course. William Barr said at least 6 or 7 times this morning the special counsel found no collusion on the part of anybody in the Trump campaign. Now, on the subject of obstruction, Barr revealed this morning that he did not consult with the special counsel before he, the AG, concluded that the evidence did not show the president intentionally tried to obstruct the special counsel's investigation. Robert Mueller did not accuse the president of obstruction, but he didn't exonerate him either. He could have. Barr disagrees.
Although the Deputy Attorney General and I disagreed with some of the special counsel's legal theories and felt that some of the episodes examined did not amount to obstruction as a matter of law, we did not rely solely on that in making our decision.
Now, this is the beginning of the process, not the end. Democrats will want to question Barr and Mueller under oath on that issue of obstruction and some other things. The president's intent was important, and remember, the special counsel was not allowed to interview the president in person. He submitted written answers to questions. Barr saved the redaction issue until the last thing during his press conference today. He says the White House did see a final version of the redacted 400-page report, but Barr says the president's attorneys did not exert executive privilege and seek further redactions. In another area where the president is going to be pleased, Barr pulled from the report language that seemed to explain, if not defend, the president's actions.
There is substantial evidence to show that the president was frustrated and angered by his sincere belief that the investigation was undermining his presidency, propelled by his political opponents, and fueled by illegal leaks. Nonetheless, the White House fully cooperated with the special counsel's investigation.
Now, in listening to a lot of the reaction to what's in this report, nobody's gotten through the entire thing. They say you're going to hear a lot of things in here that are embarrassing. You're going to see a lot of things in here that some of the president's actions that are not befitting of the chief executive. But according to this report, they did not rise to the level of criminal wrongdoing.
But I think Democrats will say that's debatable, which is why they want to hear from Mueller ASAP. Jerry Nadler, chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, is saying he needs to get to Capitol Hill ASAP as soon as we all get from Passover and Easter break from Capitol Hill, them on break, of course, for the next few days. Mueller needs to talk to us first and foremost. And so many of these answers from the president, when you get to the very end of the report, my job is to read towards the end of it, are I don't recall this or that about Russia interacting with this person or doing this or that. So the defense team's ability to shield President Trump from being interviewed by anybody from the special counsel's team clearly helped the president, because Mueller's team said, not knowing his frame of mind really prevented us from reaching any of these conclusions here.
Again, politically, I come back to Nancy Pelosi. I think she's going to be the key here. She's got the most experience, and she knows what happened when Republicans went after Bill Clinton and sought impeachment. It backfired on him. And I'm sure she's going to be in these closed-door rooms saying to Democrats, make sure if you shoot, you better hit something on this.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure they've gotten it thus far. Maybe it's somewhere in that report, but we haven't heard it just yet.
All right, Bruce, Mike, thanks so much. We're going to continue to go through this. Our team's digging through that report. And of course, we're going to bring you the very latest as it comes out on air, online, and of course on our free WSA9 app. Just search for the Mueller Report.